Hi, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. In today's third grade video, we will be reviewing the reading comprehension concept, the elements of poetry. Let's get started. Remember, third graders, if at first you don't succeed, you're normal. Kid President. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so that you will receive alerts for when we upload new videos. I'm excited to announce that we are launching a Hype Math and Reading Club box February 2020. The third graders will receive junior kits, and it is great. It will have math and reading concepts that will help second and third graders to be successful on their educational journey. We will be using the third grade Star Reading Review Workbook, and it is available to purchase in our store. The link will be in the description box, so go ahead and grab one today. We also have available the third grade Math Review Workbook, and it is available for purchase in our store as well. That link will be in the description box also. So let's talk about poetry. Poetry can tell a story, describe an object, or help readers to visualize in their mind pictures about a certain topic. It is a collection of words that express an emotion or idea, sometimes with a specific meaning, sound, or rhythm. Let's go over some definitions about the elements of poetry. Rhyme. Rhyme is words that end with the same sound. For example, can and man, sigh and try. Remember, poems do not always rhyme. Again, remember, poems do not always rhyme. Rhythm. Rhythm is the musical quality or beat of a poem. An example is pitter patter, listen to the rain. Pitter patter is the rhythm of the poem. Repetition. Repetition is to repeat words, sounds, or phrases. An example is fall is pumpkins, fall is food, fall is leaves on me and you. And the repetition in this example is fall, is the word fall. Imagery. Imagery is a vivid description using the five senses: see, feel, taste, hear, or smell. An example is the cat's tongue felt like sandpaper on my cheek. Simile. Similes are when you compare two things using the words like or as. An example, the old dog is moving as slow as a snail. Metaphor. Metaphors are when you compare two different things. In our example, we have the garden of flowers were a rainbow of colors. So we're comparing the garden of flowers and also a rainbow. Alliteration. Alliteration is when you repeat beginning sounds. For example, monkeys make major messes. Onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is sounds like the noise or action. Our example, chirp, chirp, chirp went the baby birds. And chirping is the sound that baby birds make. Personification makes a non-human thing seem human. And our example, the cat rang the doorbell to come inside. Let's look at our first poem and look at some of the definitions that we talked about for the elements of poetry. We are reading Cherry Berry by Heidi Morthorst. Be sneaky, be cheeky, pinch from the kitchen, the reddest, the roundest there are. A bowl full of cherries, a bowl of the very most cherriest bombs by far. Backbone straight, step up to the plate, puff up your chest and lungs. Swallow the fruit, ready to shoot. Put the pit in the groove of your tongue. One more tip, round your lips to launch it without a hitch. Don't get tense, aim for the fence. Wind up like you're fixing to pitch. Now blast it hard across the yard, kissing that missile goodbye. It's over the fence, it's out of the park. It's a let loose, cherry juice, no school, slobber drew, spit whistle, summer fun, home run. All right, so let's look at some comprehension questions for Cherry Berry. Our first question says, the reader can tell that the speaker is experienced at spitting cherry pits because she A. provides several suggestions about the best way to prepare for the activity, B. identifies the number of times she has practiced over the summer fun, C. reveals that there is a bowl of cherries in her kitchen, and or D states that she has spit a pit in her yard. What we are looking for again is the reader can tell that the speaker is experienced at spitting cherry pits because she, and our hint is, let's look to see what information in the poem can help us find the answer, okay? So what we are looking for is, how can we tell that the speaker is experienced at spitting cherry pits? Here is our poem. And as we look at it again, let's see how we can tell that the speaker is experienced in spitting cherry pits. I'll read it again. Such a cute poem. Be sneaky, be cheeky. Pinch from the kitchen the reddest, the roundest there are. A bowl of cherries, a bowl of the very most cherriest bombs by far. Backbone straight, step up to the plate. Puff up your chest and lungs. Swallow the fruit, ready to shoot. Put the pit in the groove of your tongue. One more tip. Round your lips to launch it without a hitch. Don't get tense. Aim for the fence. Wind up like you're fixing to pitch. Now blast it hard across the yard, kissing that missile goodbye. It's over the fence. It's out of the park. It's a let loose cherry juice, no school, slobber drool, spit whistle, summer fun, home run. Okay, so let's look at our question one more time and our answer choices. Number one says the reader can tell that the speaker is experienced at spitting cherry pits because she A. provides several suggestions about the best way to prepare for the activity, B. identifies the number of times she's practiced over the summer, C. reveals that there is a bowl of cherries in her kitchen, or D, states that she has spit in a pit in her yard. Okay, so what can help us in saying that this is what the speaker did to let us know that she is experienced in spitting cherry pits? Take a look at the poem one more time, and then we will choose our answer choice. If you said A, you are correct. In our poem, the speaker provides several suggestions about the best way to prepare for the activity. Now, one thing we can do also is think about, did we see some of the other answer choices in the poem? And if not, we know that they're wrong. So I don't remember the speaker telling the number of times she practiced spitting cherry pits over the summer. Do you? Yes, she did talk about there being a bowl of cherries in the kitchen, but that doesn't help us to know that she is experienced in spitting cherry pits because it's just a bowl of cherries in the kitchen. And lastly, it states that she has spit a pit in her yard. Well, not in the yard. She was talking about making it go over the fence. So A is the best answer. And so whenever you have a question about reading comprehension, you always want to choose the best answer because there will be good answers sometimes, but what we are going for is the best answer. And for this question, A provides several suggestions about the best way to prepare for the activity, lets us know that yes, this speaker has experience in spitting cherry pits. Let's look at question 2. What is one important effect of the rhyme scheme of the poem? F, it focuses the reader on the most important words in the poem. G, it helps the reader visualize the problem the speaker experiences. H, it creates a rhythm that emphasizes the quick actions in the poem. Or J, it helps explain what spitting a cherry pit sounds like. Okay, so if you are reading this question for the first time, like we are, think about, okay, do all of these answer choices make sense? And if they don't worry about those answer choices. Focus on the ones that, okay, that possibly makes sense. So if it was me, I know that J, it helps explain what spitting a cherry pit sounds like. Um, I don't know if that goes with rhyme scheme because remember we said that rhyme scheme is when the poem rhyme. They're words that rhyme together, okay? So let's look at our poem. Let's look at our poem, okay? And I would clue in on backbone straight, step up to the plate, puff up your chest and lungs, swallow the fruit, ready to shoot, put the pit in the groove of your tongue. One more tip, round your lips to launch it without a hitch. Don't get tense, aim for the fence, wind up like you're fixing to pitch. Now blast it hard across the yard, kissing that missile goodbye. Okay, so focusing in on that, let's look at our answer choices again. Based on what we just read, and remember we said rhyme scheme is the pattern of rhyme that comes at the end of each line in poetry. What I just read, does that F focuses the reader on the most important words in the poem? And remember, we're looking for the best answer, not a good answer, because we're not looking for good. We are looking for the best because we are the best, okay? G, it helps the reader visualize the poem the speaker experiences. H, it creates a rhythm that emphasizes the quick actions in the poem. J, it helps explain what speeding a cherry pit sounds like. Let's look at we're going to look at the poem one more time, and then we are going to choose our answer. Which answer choice do you think is correct? If you said H, you are absolutely correct. It creates a rhythm that emphasizes quick actions in the poem. So let's go back to it again and take a look. Backbone straight, step up to the plate, puff up your chest and lungs. Swallow the fruit, ready to shoot, put the pit in the groove of your tongue. So this, and that's just an example, but that is a rhythm that emphasizes the quick actions you need to take when you're about to shoot a cherry pit, okay? Let's move to our next question. Which line from the poem best helps the reader understand the meaning of launch? A, backbone straight. B, one more tip. C, round your lips. D, aim for the fence. Which line from the poem best helps the reader understand the meaning of launch? So let's go to our poem again, and this is what you need to do whenever you're reading a question. It's always good. Go back to the reading selection or the poem so that you can look it over to answer the what? Best, to give the best answer. Okay, so let's look at our poem again. We see launches where it says, one more tip, round your lips to launch it without a hitch. Don't get tense, aim for the fence, wind up like you're fixing to pitch. Okay, so our question again says, which line from the poem best helps the reader understand the meaning of launch? Is it backbone straight? One more tip, round your lips, or aim for the fence? If I do not know what launch means, what could possibly help me to understand what it means? Let's go back to our poem again. And which answer choice do you believe helps the reader understand the meaning of launch? If you said D, you are absolutely correct. Give yourself a high five. Aim for the fence is the line of the poem that helps us to understand what the meaning of launch means. Okay? Not backbone straight. Now, one more tip or around your lips, but aim for the fence. Let's move to our next question. What is most likely the reason the poet compares spitting cherry pits to playing baseball? F. To show that spitting cherry pits is just as much a team sport as baseball. G. To help the reader relate a well-known activity to an activity that might be unfamiliar. H. To explain that less time is required for spitting cherry pits than for playing baseball. J. To show the reader that some activities are more interesting than others. So again, our question is, what is most likely the reason the poet compares spitting pits to playing baseball? And of course, we are going to go back to our poem to take a look. Okay? It says, let's start from one more tip. Round your lips to launch it without a hinge. Don't get tense. Aim for the fence. Wind up like you're fixing to pitch. Ha! Wind up like you're fixing to pitch. So that's like baseball. Now blast it hard across the yard, kissing that missile goodbye. It's over the fence. It's out of the park. It's a let loose cherry juice, no school, slobber drool, spit whistle, summer fun, home run. So why do you think the reader put that in, used baseball as an example of spitting cherry pits? Do you think it's to show that F, spitting cherry pits is just as much a team sport as baseball? G, to help the reader relate a well-known activity to an activity that might be unfamiliar. H, to explain that less time is required for spitting cherry pits than for playing baseball. Or J, to show the reader that some activities are more interesting than others. What do you think is the right answer? If you said G, you are absolutely correct. Being able to, for the speaker to use baseball and actions of baseball to explain spitting cherry pits, well, if you've never spit cherry pits before, you may not quite understand what to do, and that is why she used baseball as an example to help you visualize and see what to do when you spit cherry pits. And that is it, third graders. We are finished with reviewing the elements of poetry. Remember that we have the third grade math review and also the third grade reading review workbooks in our store to purchase, not only for the STAR test, which is in Texas, but for other state tests as well. This is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. I will talk to you soon.